Senator Ali Ndume, representing Borno South, has claimed that Senator Godswill Akpabio's political enemies have united against him in his bid for the Senate presidency. The All Progressives Congress APC leadership had initially zoned the position to the South region, with Akpabio emerging as the consensus candidate. However, there is still no agreement among all the senators regarding the zoning arrangement. Ndume alleged that even former Senate President Ahmad Lawan, who is from the same party, is part of the group opposing Akpabio's candidacy. He acknowledged that negotiations are underway to find a resolution, considering that Akpabio has accumulated a fair share of enemies during his time as a senator. According to Ndume, he's leading the campaign in support of Akpabio despite facing criticism from those who are unhappy with his association with Akpabio. He emphasized that talks are ongoing to address the concerns and conflicts between the parties involved. While acknowledging that Akpabio has encountered opposition, Ndume expressed optimism about the possibility of reaching a consensus and softening the ground for Akpabio's candidacy. Senator Ali Ndume claimed that Senator Godswill Akpabio's political adversaries, including former Senate President Ahmad Lawan, have joined forces against his bid for the Senate presidency. However, negotiations are taking place to resolve the disagreements, and Ndume is leading the campaign in support of Akpabio, despite facing opposition from certain quarters. Okay, can you imagine? Ndume has been a dogged fighter when it comes to open policies game. Ndume is a refined politician who has moved away from both religion and ethnic mentality. The good news is that Akpabio has survived many political oppositions in the past, so this new gathering of enemies is nothing. Akpabio is an opportunistic power monger. Southeast should have the Senate president. Akpabio dey there. Igbo person dey there. Tell me wetin go happen. Are they not going to see be rubber stamp like Ahmad Lawan? Abi, is there anything that you are going to get from it? These are people with questionable character, top to bottom. I mean, top to bottom. Akpabio, yes, Southeast did not deserve the seat of the Senate president. How many votes was given to the ruling party in the Southeast compared to what was given to the party in the South? It would be totally unfair to bite the fingers that feed you. We should not forget that it is a game of numbers and personal interest. So it is not all about the masses' interest. Reaping where you didn't sow. What was Southeast's contribution towards the success of APC in the last election? All of una will contribute to the success of a whosoever that is leading. Waiting you don't gain. Have you gained or whatever they call it a dividends of democracy? Have you gotten dividends of democracy with all your supports? We're gonna be fool na safe. Nigeria is indeed in a political problem. The continuous division of the rule on tribalism and religion have gone beyond the Rubicon. Emancipation and freedom of the people of Nigeria is eminent. The battle is of the Lord. You are still ignorant about the so-called politicians in Nigeria. You are in certain part of the country where they are struggling for their gains. Did the Southeast and South present one candidate? Why would Southeast and South present one candidate for Senate president? Did they present one candidate from the country's presidency? This is an evidence that South is the end that lays the golden egg to the North. They take the egg and kill the hen. Can the Southerners continue to be with those who don't want them? Don't forget how Amici, the former governor of Rivers State, is treated. Goodluck Jonathan and many more. The hypocrisy in them is not hidden anymore until the Southerners unite themselves. This is how they will use the Southwest to humiliate the race because of Muslim religion. South unite and have a forum for progress. Hypocrite, you want the opposition just to get the position in the Senate. Everyone has the right to belong to where he feels better. This one is referring to Ndume, that Ndume is not, it's an hypocrite. Ahmed Lawan is a disgrace to himself. Someone who has headed the Senate is still opposing his own party. Lawan should come to his senses. You are always talking nonsense. You have been there for long and only interested in your pocket, nothing to show that there is a National Assembly in Nigeria. That what is Lawa still doing in the Senate? The likes of David Mark. If Akpabio finally scaled through, the seat will be very hot for him. That is my take on this. Ahmad Lawa, the Supreme Court Senator. Akpabio is a Supreme Court Senator too. You should know, with a lot of EFCC corruption baggages in his neck. Shall of Nadon, the disgrace INEC now. If Tinubu wants Godswill Akpabio to be Senate President, it is fiat accompli. The shenanigans of some of these senators will not be forgiven because there's always a price to pay. I have no business with National Assembly because they are pushing personal gain to fail Nigeria. No, but no, because they do with that. Oh God. What do you expect from some who failed in exam? He has to join the league of the carryovers. No one cares who becomes Senate President of Nigeria. So who the cap fits? It is your brother, or tell us. We in the middle belt are being marginalized. The post of Senate President should be given to us for equity and justice. You have SGF also. My friend, nobody is marginalizing you. You initially supported the Fulanis unknowingly. To you, in battle with the Fulani marauders trying to take advantage of the power that be. It is only God that can set us free. If Senate President Lawa is against Senator Akpabio to be Senate President, then Senator Ahmad Lawa should remember that he was also chosen as a consensus candidate by a former president, Muhammadu Buhari. He should not forget that. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.